Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Brian Page, and I'm going to demonstrate the Giraud Tri-Way Case Trimmer for you today. I'm going to show you the way I use it in my shop. I'm doing 308. I've got about 4,000 cases to do in total. They're once fired, they've been resized, and they're long. They've never been trimmed before. So there's a lot of material to remove off of each case. Probably around 15,000 worth of brass. I have too many to do by hand, and I went out and I did research, and I came across the Giraud Case Trimmer, the Tri-Way, and I believe it is the tool to get if you have a drill press, a milling machine as I do, a lathe, or some kind of spindle. After I do the demo in the milling machine, I'll show you how easy it is to just actually chuck the device in a cordless drill and use that. But I've got the machine set for 600-ish RPM, which in my opinion is more or less right for this trimmer. You probably could go a little faster if you want to, but remember, this is cartridge case brass. And if you were machining it in a lathe or drilling a hole in it using a drill press, you would just use a few hundred RPM. You would not go overboard. I've seen other people use this tool and similar tools on YouTube. They use heavy, thick gloves to hold the case. I recommend against that because if you walked into any machine shop and you put on a pair of gloves and walked up to a piece of machinery, you would be forcibly ejected from that shop. That is not good safety around power tools. I'm going to hold the case initially with my fingers, and I'm going to demonstrate a method that you can use at home with some device that you may already own to be able to grasp the case firmly. So let's get started. 600 RPM, safety glasses, short sleeves, no jewelry, okay? Power on, and I'm going to do the first one. Now, there's a lot of material to remove. Again, these are very long cases. If you're doing this on a regular basis and only trimming occasionally, it would be very quick and easy. I'm going to do one more by hand, and then I'm going to demonstrate another method to hold the case. Now that was easy. This case must have been a little shorter than the previous one, but the really long cases tend to grab when you initially insert them, and you really have to be careful and you have to grasp the case tightly. Now I'm going to show you something I discovered. If I use, in this case, it's a hand priming tool with a shell holder. If I use this tool to hold the case for me, I can do it a lot quicker. Now, if you don't have one of these lovely Sinclair bench rest hand priming tools, you should probably get one. But if you do have something that will hold a regular shell holder, you might want to try that, like an RCBS priming tool. But let's try this. Now, as you can see, it was actually much faster to use a tool like this to hold the case and then insert it, I was able to trim a lot more material away with a fraction of the speed just by having the case tightly in my hand. Plus, I feel it's safer. So again, I'm using this Sinclair hand priming tool. You may have an RCBS or Lee hand priming tool, and I have a feeling that there should be just enough resistance using the shell holder alone and some firm pressure. Give it a try and see what happens. Now, the reason they call this the Tri-Way trimmer is it performs the trimming operation. It creates an outside chamfer and an inside chamfer, hence 3 operations in one pass. Now, let's have a look. And hopefully you can see this. I'm getting 2.2 inches flat off of that case. Two more out of the batch. Now, hopefully you can see this. Okay. Oh, that's not bad. Okay, so that's a thou over 2 inches. And let's have a look at this one. Okay, that's a thou over 2 inches. So we're plus or minus a thousandth of an inch, which in my opinion is awfully good for a machine operated trimmer. I honestly think that it is more accurate than probably trimming by hand, no matter how careful you are. The Tri-Way, as does Doug's other trimmer, indexes off of the case shoulder. So it is imperative that your cases are resized consistently in order to get consistent overall case length when you're finished. So your resizing process is actually quite important when used in conjunction with this tool. Now, the tool itself consists of a bearing which supports the case shoulder during the chairing operation. There's a index here where the shoulder pushes against it to register the case. There's a carbide cutting tool that is adjustable, and it is rotatable. It's got 3 cutting surfaces. So as one dulls, you remove a grub screw, rotate the tool, reinstall it, and you can cut another few thousand cases. Doug indicates a 20,000 case life for a single cutting blade. They are replaceable quite easily. I'll probably have some in stock soon, but again, we can always get them directly from Doug. I've got a couple of these for sale on my website, www.bisleyvshop.co.uk. I've got them in 308 and in 223. Now, the tool is solid. It's well made, and the only maintenance it really needs is the odd cleaning operation, which is easily done by popping off the plexiglass cover, giving the tool a tap, and reinstalling the cover. I recommend always running the tool with the cover. Again, it's more a safety thing than it is anything else. You do not want to get your fingers or anything else in these slots, but with the plexiglass cover in place, the shavings are captured, and you're somewhat protected from these openings. Now, should you decide to adjust because you want shorter cases or longer cases, there's a locking screw here and an adjusting mechanism. Now, in the instructions, it clearly explains how many thousandths of an inch adjustment is provided by a fraction of a turn of this mechanism. When they're shipped from the factory, Doug has them preset, and included with the package is a brand new Starline case, which is indicative of the way the trimmer was set up when it was shipped. And if you ever have to or decide to completely disassemble this and reassemble it, you can reset it back to factory standards using that supplied case. Now, I want to show you another way of using this tool involving just a simple cordless drill. And this is probably the way most of you will end up using it. Now, doing it this way is actually very straightforward, very safe. You have full control, and it's just as fast as operating it in a fixed machine. Now let's just check this case length and see how we compare. Okay, we're a thousandths over 2 inches. So if you have a big stationary power tool like a mill, that's great. If you have a drill press, you could easily chuck your case trimmer in your drill press and use it if it has a slow enough speed, and just make sure there's enough clearance. You'd probably be working in a vertical orientation, which would be absolutely fine. You just have to sort of get the feel for it. If you are lucky enough to have a mini lathe at home or even a full-size lathe, I have a feeling that that would be the ultimate setup for the Tri-Way trimmer. There's something about using it horizontally that just feels very safe and very natural. I have the mill set up at 45 degrees, which is sort of a compromise. But again, if you have a lathe, if you have a drill press, you can use this tool easily. And again, it seems to perform wonderfully with just an old cordless drill set for medium speed. I can't say enough about this tool. I'm doing this video as part of an article I'm writing for the website, basically doing large batch processing of 308 brass using single stage presses and equipment that everybody probably already has. So I want to thank you for your time watching this video. I hope you learned something. I hope you feel comfortable with this tool and know what it can do, what it can't do, and I hope you, actually I really hope you devise your own way to hold the cases safely. I don't want you to be one of these people that's on the internet wearing winter gloves and trying to do this safely. Again, the other thing is, it's brass, and again, you do not need a lot of RPM to machine brass properly. Okay, so run it slowly, run it carefully, hold your brass with something, be consistent, and you will get a lot of use out of this trimmer. I've got another approximately 2,850 cases to do, and you know what? I'll get through them. Anyway, thanks again. If you have any questions about the tool, please feel free to comment me, find me at the website, email me, give me a phone call. Again, I wanted to show you how it works. I didn't want to waste your time. It does what it does, and it does it well. Thank you very much.